I just don't know. It's just like turning into like a really hard project now. I thought it was gonna be much. I just don't know. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is part 2 of the Jonah Hex videos, and in this video I'm going to be doing the corset, my favorite part of the costume, kind of the reason why I did the costume. So basically watch my first video so you can like see what the progress is, but I really love this costume, and the corset's kind of like maybe 1900s, so that's kind of what I based it on. So what I did was, I'm just going to show you some of the pictures. You can see it has like these ribbons and it kind of looks like an antique, kind of like it's falling apart, that sort of thing. So I really try to look at these photos and like try to replicate it. So if you have seen the movie, let me know in the comments. It's kind of a weird movie, and like I was saying in the first one, she is literally in it for like 5 minutes. Like if you add up the time she's in it. So I had to just like go off the promo pictures and just zoom in and try to figure it out. So it's not exactly a replica, but I think it looks pretty good. So first I tried to, I've been trying to make an Edwardian corset for like a long time, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this project, was because I want an Edwardian corset, but I'm like I don't like making undergarments that much, so this kind of gave me an excuse to make it as well, so that was cool. And so I went to Aranea Black. She has these free corset patterns. I was gonna do my own, but honestly it's really hard to pattern an Edwardian corset yourself. So I gave up on that, and I used her, I think it was the tulip one, and I ended up adjusting it because it wasn't an underbust one, and this one was an underbust one, and it was like a little longer than I wanted. So when I first did it, I had to adjust it like a few times. And the pattern that she has is really easy. Like you print it out, and then like based on your measurements you can figure out what size you are. So I had to make, I made like two mock-ups. So I made an initial one. Unfortunately I took photos of the mock-ups, but my phone like deleted all those pictures because it wasn't updated or whatever. I don't know, you know when that happens, and like I didn't like upload any photos. I only have the one photo on Instagram of me in the second mock-up, which I actually used as like the second pattern. But if you want to know more about like my pattern making process for corsets, I have like more videos of that. I'm not going to put that in, but I basically use the same method. So I'll put that in the link below, because I did an 1890s and an 1880s one, and I went through the whole process of me making that. So I'm not gonna like go through the process of making the corset, of making the pattern, but I'm gonna just start like with the pattern. But I still had to do adjustments with that. Nah, corset making. So here's me just cutting out the cotillion. It's a special corset fabric that doesn't really have a lot of stretch. I think it doesn't really have a lot of stretch on the bias. It does have some, but this is like a traditionally used material for corsets. So I got it off Amazon, I think, and I got 1 yard, or like I think maybe 2 yards, and I like used that. Like there's like little scraps left, but not a lot. So I cut out the pattern. As you can see, I adjusted like the original one, so this is my like pattern for it, and I gave 1/2 inch of space. I forget the word. Like, you know, when you sew it and you want to have that extra bit at the end, I put it at 1/2 inch. So I could, my plan was to like fold it over and make like a little pocket so it would look really nice and streamlined, instead of just like sewing it down, which you can do, but I want to like look nice on the inside. So I gave a little extra for the, why am I forgetting the word? Seam allowance. Okay, anyway. I don't know why I forgot that. So I have, first I finished is back and front pieces. And if you look at my old corset videos, you'll see why. Basically, you have to have two pieces so you can like hold the busk in, and then on the back you add all of the eyelets. So I did those pieces first because you want to sew them in, and also for the fittings and stuff, you want to have those like have the boning in them. So I added the busk. I just went to the sewing machine and added the busk in with the sewing machine, and I completed the back panel with eyelets. I used metal eyelets with the eyelet maker. You can see me using it with the owl. I just made the little holes, and I did 1 inch apart. I was gonna do grommets, but I didn't have any grommets that were like the right size. Like I wanted it to be like that certain size that it looked like in the photographs. So I ended up doing that. I really don't like doing hand sewn eyelets. Like I know it looks way nicer, but like I just hate doing them because it's really annoying. And one time I cut my hand really bad doing them, so I just haven't. And like it's historically accurate to have the metal ones, and she had it in the photos. So, so that's why I did it. But anyway, so then I just started adding the panels. So like I just kept going to the sewing machine, add the panel, then I would go to the ironing, iron it out, and then I folded it in, and then I went to the sewing machine and then like sewed the pocket. So I did that for the entire corset. So my friend from Instagram, hey, shout you out, she said that to be historically accurate, they have like double boning on the seams instead of like the 1890s one I made. It had one bone over the seam, so I wanted to do that. And also from the photos, it looked like underneath the silk, it looked like it was like one seam, and it looked like the bones were added on the other side. So that's the design I went with. So anyway, I did that for the whole corset. It looked really nice. I wanted to find steel boning for the back pieces, but I just couldn't find them when I went to the stores. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're out or something, but anyway, so I had to use plastic boning. I don't know if that's okay, but and it's just some cheap plastic boning I got on the internet. It's not like synthetic whalebone or something, because like I can't afford that. So it's like cheap boning. So that's what I used, and how I did it was I because I don't want the sharp edges, I cut it and then I burned it with my lighter so the edges are like melted a little bit, and then you could stick it in and it wouldn't be like poking out or cutting it or anything. So then I had to try it on, and it like didn't work. So basically, I don't know, I'm like kind of frustrated with it. Oh shoot, it's there. Okay, like it's a big mess here, but whatever. I just like am frustrated with it because I feel like I made it too hippie. But like I guess that was popular in the time, but it's like it doesn't really look like the Jonah Hex thing anymore. So I don't know. So I'm like, should I take it in the back? And I'm like, I don't know about all this padding. I've only wanted, I don't know if I'm supposed to put that much padding in. But I mean, like, I wanted it to be dramatic. I just don't know. It's just like turning into like a really hard project now. I thought it was gonna be much. I just don't know. I don't know if I should like take in the hips more because I want it to look dramatic. Like maybe I should take in this piece, and just have it like straight. I think I might do that, but it's like annoying because I already boned it and I already did it all, and I have to undo it all. It's just like kind of annoying, and like I don't think I'll be able to get it done in time now. I'm just gonna take this one out and make this be smaller, I think. Because I like this part being big, but I don't think the butt necessarily has to be as big. I think I need to make this smaller, but I mean, like, I should have figured this out before, but I think it just acted differently when I used the actual fabric. So I guess you can't really, I should have not boned all the channels. I should have like tried it on first. And also it's not really like the movie because like this is too high, because I think, because I did another pattern. I did like an actual Edwardian pattern based off that, it was the Andrea chick, Aranea, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but anyway, and it was like from an actual Edwardian one. Like I didn't do an underbust one, which I should have done. So like I couldn't really like adjust it. And then I'm like, well, maybe I should just keep it like that because then I can use it for something else later. But then it's like, it doesn't really look like it. So it's like, should I continue? I mean, I'm just gonna continue on it. I guess I'll just take that piece. Maybe I won't. I guess I'm just gonna, because this is really curved. I don't really need it to be that curved. And then I'm like, I don't know if this is the right undergarments. Like I really don't know. Like I just took pictures. I just looked at a picture online. It's not really historically accurate thing anyway, so I don't know. I'm like, this part of it is such a mess and gross because I just been working on this the entire time. Like, was this a mistake? Anyway, I probably look terrible. I probably should take a break, but like I don't want to. I'm like just kind of annoyed at this project. I don't really like making corsets that much just because it's like so much work to pattern it, and then it's like I didn't really pattern it right. So I slept on it, whatever, and like it wasn't that big of a deal. I was just like scared I was gonna be really behind, which I might be, but I just started out taking it apart, and I'm just gonna adjust some of the pattern pieces so they're not as curved out. So I think it'll be fine. And then I'm like thinking about it, and like I was gonna make it more historically accurate, but I'm like, I want it to look like the corset, so I think I'm just gonna do an underbust one. I just have to like cut it, and then I can always make it. I can always make a historically accurate one later if I really want to, even though it's like, because I have the pattern now, it's like not that big of a deal. But anyway, so that's where I'm at, so that's what I'm gonna do. Hey guys, I think they fixed it. I'm just gonna make it really tight. So I think I fixed it. I just basically took in one of the pieces, it was like too curved out, so I took it in, and also I made it underbust because I was like, I just wanted to look like the movie, and I still think it's like pretty historically accurate, like when I'm looking at it, so it looks really cool. But if I do want to do it really tight, it does close, but it is like pretty tight, and I put a little bit of padding in. I hope I'm like in screen. I don't know if I am. So that is it. It doesn't, like, I wish it made my stomach a bit flatter. But I think the silhouette's pretty good. So I'm just gonna work on finishing it now. I feel like my face isn't in it. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so here it is so far. Probably the hardest thing I've made so far. That's it. Okay guys, I don't know if you can see it, but so I did take it up a little bit right here. I don't know, my camera's on the way. Like I took it up here just because I think it's more historically accurate to have it longer, but I just wanted it to look like the movie, so I did take it up here and like a little bit off the side. So now it's more, it just looks more like the movie picture. So now I can start, so I just took it up here a little bit, and I think I'm done with like the fit and everything. I'm really happy with it. I don't even really need to put padding. I think it's actually fine. Like, cause it looks like the movie, and that's what I'm going for. As you can see, it looks flat in the front, not like the 1880s one. I think I like this one better than the 1880s one. Looks more like cool to me. So basically, it's not an exact replica either. Like the busk is a little different. But now I'm gonna add like the ribbons, I think, and then I'll do the top part, the like bias tape, so I can start like doing it, and then I'm gonna actually end up hand sewing a lot of it. So, but I'm really happy with it so far. It looks so cute. I'm so excited to wear it. It gives me really good shape, so I'm happy with it. So then I had to add the ribbon, and what I noticed in the picture was that it had the ribbon, like it must have been like an old corset, and like they were antiquing it and it had ribbon all around it. So I added the ribbon around the whole thing first, just from top to bottom. And I bought silk ribbon for this, but I didn't have enough, so I had to use my polyester one. But you can't really tell. I think you can tell if you look really close, but you can't really tell. It's basically the same. So anyway, so I just sewed them all around the edges of the whole entire garment. So then it was like, oh, and then I was like, I'll distress it later. And then I added the bias tape around the whole thing, because that's what it looked like from the photographs. So I added the bias tape, and the one side I sewed it, and then the other side I hand stitch it. So then I had the corset with the bias tape and the so it was like kind of completed. And now I wanted to add the embroidery, and when I zoomed in, it looked like a herringbone stitch. So that's what I did, and it looked like it was kind of random. So I just kind of did in various sizes, various, you know, like I stitched the ribbon down, and I wanted to make sure I stitched the ribbon down around the waist, so it would make sure it's like fit. And I tried to like look at the photograph and like distress it in the same way, like cut it where it was kind of cut. So I did it as best I could. But like I said, I only had so many photographs to go off, and I could only zoom in so much, so I couldn't really see it exactly. So I think it looks pretty accurate and pretty good. So so once I did that and kind of like, you know, antiqued it a bit, like I kind of made it look like it was a little distressed. I cut off some of the ribbon in certain places, and I added that top really pretty like silk they had, or not silk, lace, like a crochet lace. I added that. I actually had that in my stash already, but I tea-dyed it to that color, and I also tea-dyed all of the pieces of the pattern before I started you know, doing this whole process. And I did it with the tea bags. You can watch my other video on how I did that, but I used like not a lot of tea bags because I knew this was going to the dye was going to take, because it's a natural fiber. And funny fact, I literally was like almost done making the corset like for the first time, and I was missing a pattern piece, so like I had to cut it out, and then I had to like dye it. It was so annoying. But anyway, so that's why one piece is like slightly darker than the rest of them. But anyway, that's another story. So then, but when I added that lace, it was pretty much done. All I had to do was make this like flower from the film, and I got the little piece of really pretty ribbon, silk green ribbon, for free, because I went to the lady and I was like, oh, I don't know if this is the right color, and she was like, oh, just take this little sample, and it was like all I needed. So I was like, yay. So I got that piece free, and I made it with just various pieces of silk that I had. But I filmed it, but I didn't film it right, so I don't have it for you guys, like how I made that flower. So here is the finished corset. I just wanted to lay it out for you guys to see. So here's the front, how it looks when it's laid out, and then here's some of the details of it, and then I wanted to show you the inside as well, and you can see like it's not really finished and it looks kind of messy inside, but I just left it like that because I don't, like, I was like really frustrated with the project at that point anyway, and I really need to get it done for this costume contest. So I just let it be like that. So, and then here is the final corset with it on me. I lace it up and it looks really good. I think it gives like a really nice shape. And I can't wait for you guys to see the final reveal because it looks so good when I have everything on. And it really looks like the costume. I'm really excited about it. But what did you guys think? Do you think it looks like the corset? Do you think it looks like Megan Fox? I think it does, but let me know in the comments. And then next week I'm going to do the skirts and the accessories. So then that, and then the week after that, it's going to be the final reveal. So I'm so excited for you guys to see the final reveal because I have some really nice videos of like me in the corset and it just looks so good. Like it looks like it's such a nice shape. So all of the pain was worth it. Like it turned out really well. So I'm really glad like I went back and just, you know when you're working on a project and you're like, I really should just like fix it right now. I went ahead and like fixed it at the points where it needs to be fixed. So like I was happy with it. So I don't regret it or anything. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and leave me a comment because it really helps me out. Alright, thank you guys. Bye!